Good evening, Philippines. This is Mike Padua, and we are back to our YouTube and Facebook update for the weather here in the Philippine Islands as well as the Western Pacific for this Wednesday to Friday, January 5th to 7th, 2022. And this is brought to you by Typhoon 2000. So let's begin with our update. Here's the latest GovSat for today until tomorrow, Thursday. We have a shifting of the wind direction as of this time across the Philippine Islands and the Philippine Sea. The high pressure located over South Korea has moved more to the east, and it's now shifting the winds, and it's now easterlies across the Batanes and Babuyan Cubab Islands with slight winds from the east-southeast. And also the winds here will be around 30 to 40 kph, and it's also affecting the whole of Luzon. This wind shift will only be temporary because of the passage of that high pressure steering flow to the east of Japan. And over the Bicol region, Mimaropa, Visayas, Sulu Archipelago, northern and eastern Mindanao is the usual northeasterly surface wind flow with winds of 15 to 35 kph. So it's not yet a full-blown monsoon. So it's just the usual northeasterly trade winds. So there are some passing isolated rain showers and thunderstorms, particularly in the afternoon or evening across portions of eastern and southern Visayas, as well as portions of northern and eastern Mindanao. Here, across the effects of the easterlies over Luzon, there might be some drizzles to light rain showers expected within this cloudiness brought about by this wind flow. And to the east of Mindanao, in the vicinity of Palau, we have here the former diffused shear line, which has transformed into converging winds. Because of the winds from the east and northeast, it's now known as a wind convergence. So this is bringing some thunderstorms across the western part of Palau into the southern portion of the Philippine Sea, and to the south of Mindanao near the equator we have the usual surface trough known as the near equatorial trough. Okay, so so far for the next few days until this weekend, next week, there could be some decreased average rainfall across the Philippine Islands because of the monsoon break. Okay, and although we have a developing frontal system here over eastern China all the way towards the southern islands of Japan, this won't be a strong effects across the Philippine Islands, because at the northern edge of this we have another surge of the monsoon, but it will only affect the Batanes and Babuyan Cubab Islands as well as the northern coastal areas of extreme northern Luzon. That's the forecast this coming weekend. So based on the extended forecast for next week, there might be another surge of northeast monsoon that may affect Luzon and portions of the Visayas. But we still have some 50% chance of that scenario. So we're going to observe that in the coming week, particularly this coming weekend. If the forecast for next week will come through, that will be around January 12 to 14. So let's wait for that. But so far, the temperature across the Philippine Islands is still quite low. We have a early morning temperature of 19 up to 21 degrees in some portions of Luzon, including here in Naga City. We recorded a low of 20 to 21 degrees centigrade between 5 to 6 a.m. This morning. So it's quite chilly. Okay, but in the next couple of days until February, there might be some still lowering of the temperature because we are still on the winter season in the northern hemisphere, although some fringe effects of this coldness are being felt across the area of Luzon and portions of the Visayas because of the northeast monsoon. Okay, so we continue to enjoy this until the early weeks of March. So far, that's the latest. We have some slight vake on the rainfall because of the weakening of the northeast monsoon. And so far, that's the latest from our GraphSat. Here's the zoom-in satellite animation. So there's the wind convergence slowly dissipating. And we have here another frontal system, developing frontal system, moving fast across the areas of Japan. So there might be a new surge of northeast monsoon over extreme northern Luzon this coming weekend. But so far, the winds here is from the east and from the northeast across central and southern Philippines. Here comes the latest windy.com zoom-in satellite animation from the UMETSAT satellite server. As you can see, good weather is expected across the Philippine Islands, but there are some showers and small thunderstorms in areas like northern and northeastern Mindanao, and some showers also across northern Luzon and portions of Batanes because of the easterly surface wind flow. Although the clouds are moving towards the northeast, these are high-level clouds, mid-level to high-level clouds, which is moving from the southwest towards the northeast. Okay, that's the reason why we are seeing a reverse movement of the clouds. But these are mid-level to high-level clouds. It's different when you look at the low level. So these are the low level. As you can see, it's moving from the east. And here it's moving from the northeast. Okay, so that's the latest. Now let's take a look at the rainfall accumulation for the next 3 days. It looks like we are going to have a vake when it comes to the rainfall. Mindanao, Visayas will only have some light isolated showers and possible thunderstorms in areas like northern Caraga, but the wind convergence is stationary to the west of Palau with weakening or dissipating rainfall activity, and also some light showers will be expected across the Batanes and Babuing Cubao Islands because of the approaching northeast monsoon, which is expected to only affect the northern portions of extreme northern Luzon. And if we take a look at the wind and pressure forecast for the next 3 days, so by tomorrow afternoon, Thursday, we have here another surge of the monsoon affecting Taiwan, and it will also affect the northern islands of extreme northern Luzon. That's the Batanes and Babuing Cubao Islands and the coastal areas of Ilocos Norte, while the rest of the Philippine Islands, particularly Luzon, will again shift back to northeasterly surface wind flow, affecting most parts of the country except for the southern portions of Mindanao, where variable winds will be expected. And on Friday afternoon, the northeast monsoon remains across the Batanes and Babuing Cubao Islands and the coastal areas of Ilocos Norte, while the northeasterly trade winds or northeasterly surface wind flow will prevail across the whole of the country except for portions of central and southern Mindanao. And if you take a look at the rain forecast from the European model based on the day-to-day scenario, so by tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m., there might be some light showers and small thunderstorms across portions of northern and southern Mindanao, while the rest of the Philippine Islands will remain dry with some chances of isolated rain showers and some cloudy skies. Here here along the southern part of the Philippine Sea, we have here the remnants of the wind convergence. And if we move into Friday afternoon, there might be some showers across extreme northern Luzon and also across the Bicol region and eastern Visayas because of the prevailing northeasterly trade winds, while becoming more breezy across the areas of Batanes and Babuing Cubao Islands because of the renewed surge of the northeast monsoon. So here the winds across the Bicol region and eastern Visayas will be around 15 to 35 kph, okay, because of the trade winds. But based on the rain forecast, there might be showers come Friday. Okay, so that's the latest. Now, before we leave you, here's the latest global topics, hazards, and benefits outlook from the Climate Prediction Center of NOAA. This is valid for the next 2 weeks. So this is good news to our country. For the next 2 weeks, the Philippine Islands will remain below average rainfall. So valid for week 1, valid January 5 to January 11. The Philippine Islands, particularly Visayas, Mimaropa, and Mindanao, might see a below average rainfall. Although there will be also some rain, but it will be below from the norm, okay? And when it comes to the second week of January 12 to 18, we are also expecting a 50% chance of below average rainfall across the Philippine Islands. So this will be a continued 1 to 2 week good weather across the Philippine Islands, known as the monsoon wake. So far, that's the latest. And we will return again on Friday to give you the forecast for the weekend and early next week. From Typhoon 2000, this has been Mike Padua reporting. Stay safe always. Be #WeatherWiser. Take care always. Be in good health. And thank you so much for watching our channel.